To my channel, Fifi Creates. I'm Felicia. Let's create something together. So if you saw my last video, you saw where I tried to sub onto the Michael's Artist Loft journal. And you can see where that did not work out too well. But around here, we don't like to let a good Canva design go to waste. So let's do this. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can achieve a journal cover, because I'm going to make like a spiral notebook. I don't want to cover another journal. I don't want to buy a Sublimation journal either. So there's a couple of different ways, again, that you can do this. So I'm going to do a couple of different ways. Like here, and I apologize for the glare in advance. This is the diamond print glitter, white glitter cardstock from my Walmart, excuse me. And this is printable. So you can use this. Or I also have the silhouette glitter sheets in white. You can use this as well. I've also used glitter HTV and then sublimated onto here, which turns out really beautiful. And I love the diamond HTV from Caesar. But this seems like a lot of work. Well, it was a lot of work. As you can see here, I have tested it out and have completed them, kind of punched them out. And they do turn out really well. But this is, again, a lot of work for a one-time use notebook, in my opinion, and sublimation. Whereas these two, I can just go ahead and print on them directly and then make them into journal covers. So what you're going to see me use in this instance is a couple of different things, and some things may change as the video goes. Is, again, you can use any one of these two options. We're going to have some tape or glue, whichever one you prefer, if you're going to use the cardstock version. We're also going to be using chipboard in order to kind of make this sturdy as a cover. You can use any kind of chipboard you find. You can use cereal boxes and glue them together, however you want to do it. I did just find some chipboard from Michael's, and I'm just going to go on ahead and use that. You're also going to want some coordinating cardstock to cover and finish off the back of your journal covers. So as you can see here, I haven't finished this one off yet, but I have finished off this one. You see where it just kind of gives it a cleaner finish. And this, I was just kind of playing around with it, so it's not as great as I wanted it to be, but still not too bad. Another different way that you can make covers is by lamination. So I did go ahead and just print some out and just go ahead and laminate them using my laminator. And then I disc punch them to use with a happy planner or other discs as you want to. And that's another great way to do things as well. And again, I'm only doing this because I do not want these images in Canva to go to waste. I wanted them to be a notebook. I really wanted them to work out. So we are going to do this. Now I'm going to have plenty of notebooks to spare, of course, but I don't know. I like playing in my craft room. It makes me happy. So judge me all you like, but I'm going to do it anyway. See you in my craft room, guys. One other thing I failed to remember that you might need is a binding, I guess, source, I want to call it. So this is the spiral binding punch from We Are Memories Keepers. I am not in the market for a cinch right now. That's just too expensive. And I'm going to wait for the new multi-punch that they got coming out before I buy one for the other spiral notebooks. But I'm going to use this today. So again, you can use either this. You can use the cinch maker if you have it, or you can just line up holes and punch them out if you'd like. So I have this and some spirals that I'm going to use to assemble my notebook. You will also need some filler paper of your choice. I'm in the process of printing some out. I'm going to find some budget ones off of Etsy to print out for one. And then I'm going to leave the other one as some plain cardstock that I'm just going to cut in half. But I'll show you that process when we get there. But again, you will need a way to put them all together. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is cut down your chipboard of choice. You're going to use a self-healing mat, probably preferably one a little bit bigger than this one, but it wouldn't fit on my desk at the moment. I have a ruler here for a straight edge and my X-Acto knife with a fresh blade in it. I'm going to cut down my chipboard to these dimensions, 5 3/4 to 8 5/8. Because I'm going to make a half letter size journal, and I want this to be slightly bigger than the pages, just so that they'll kind of protect the edge of the notebook. So again, that's going to be 2 pieces of 5 3/4. I'm not sure if you can see that, times 8 5/8, excuse me. After you do that, you're also going to print out your journal covers, and you can check out my Canva video that I posted in the last video, again with the entire journal failure, where I designed the Canva journals and how I printed them out. But I did go ahead and print them out here. So this one was printed on the Michaels glitter inkjet printer paper. That's front and back. And then this one was printed on the Silhouette glitter paper. You want to be mindful. I believe that these are registration marks for the actual Silhouette cutter. I don't have a Silhouette. I use my Cricut. But it wasn't until I opened the package where I saw these registration marks. So just be mindful of that. If your size that you're printing for your journal is going to be bigger than this, you might hit into those registration marks, and you can just see it's still glitter. It's just a slightly different color, excuse me. So again, this is the glitter paper. And this is the cardstock from Michaels. Excuse me, again, Walmart. And I'm going to go ahead and cut down my cardstock pieces. I'm going to need 4 for all of these examples. If you're just making one journal, you're just going to need 2. And I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. And I have all 4 of my pieces cut. And again, I have these cutted like a half letter size, just a slightly larger margin around the edges so that it protects the filler paper on the inside. Now, we're going to do the cardstock version first. And I realized, because of the way I printed it first, and then I'm going to put the cardstock, the chipboard in it later, we need to kind of know how to place or where to place our chipboard on the inside, right? Because we're going to put it on the back and we can't see through it to see where we're placing this down to make sure that our image is centered, right? So what we're going to do, or what I did, and I'm sure there's other ways to do this as well, if you like just cut it out using Cricut or something. I'm just going to lightly score the edges so that I can see where my chipboard is going to go on the other side. So again, here I am. I have a ruler edge. Just going to line that up. And this one's a little bit more difficult since it has just a white background, but I'm going to do it down the entire length. And I'm just going to do that. And what that did is it gave me a score mark so I can lightly fold it, because I don't want this to tear as I'm going around that chipboard. So I'm lightly folding it for now so that I can easily tell where my chipboard is going to be. So I'm going to do that for all 4 sides and the back of my cover as well. And I'll be right back. Okay, so now that that is all done, and you can see here that I kind of have a placement or a guide, so to speak, of where I can put my chipboard down. Now, mind you, you did not have to do this if you really didn't want to. You could easily just cut out the size of your chipboard and just apply that directly on there. However, I wanted to wrap the paper around to the back of the chipboard just to kind of protect the edges. So that's why I did it this way versus just cutting it straight out and applying it. And I'm sure nothing really, you know, can happen to this. I just want to see if I can get a cleaner look. So that's what I did. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and apply some adhesive to this so that we can stick it down onto the cardstock. And again, you can use glue if you'd like, if you have like some regular PVA glue or another glue of your choice. Me, I'm gonna just go ahead and use two-sided sticky tape. So let me go ahead and get this all set up because this is pretty strong by itself. That's very well placed. I'll fix that, no problem. Okay. Tear that because it's not going to matter even if I wrap it around. Okay. I forget sometimes that this is terrible. And I don't think I can fit another one on the inside, so I'm going to use a smaller size. If I can just find where the edge is. And do a couple of strips of this down the middle. Okay. Now we're gonna go on ahead and peel this up. Helps to have nails for these. Okay, excellent. So now I'm gonna bring over one of my cardstock pieces. Now I'm gonna get quiet here as I try to line this up because again, this tape is strong enough that once it's down, it's down. So let's go ahead and bring here, lay it down. Turn it over. Scrape it down, make sure that adhesive is on there good. Okay, turn this over. Now what we're gonna need to do is kind of cut this down a little bit because we don't really need the full edge on here, but we definitely want to notch out these corners. I can already tell I'm off, but that's okay because this is a white background, so it's not gonna matter all that much. So I'm gonna come in here. I'm not gonna go all the way to the corner and then go back out, leaving just a very small gap. Again, on this side, almost to the corner, and then back out. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back in and we're gonna apply adhesive on the tabs and then we're gonna fold them over. So I might just kind of speed through this so you don't watch me struggle through peeling tape, but I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're all taped and peeled. And what we're going to do is go ahead and kind of push this up against my desk or my flat surface and kind of score that again. Again, as you can see, I was way off when I was placing it down, but that's okay. And go ahead and bring that around here to the other edge. And I'm going to smooth that with my scraper. Go to the other side. I'm going to do the same thing. Kind of help that heavier cardstock get around the paper, the chipboard. And you're going to do a much better job when you're doing this of placing that within those score marks that you gave yourself. Because maybe you won't be trying to fit a tripod in between you and your project. But there we go. Look at that. You just see how well those edges just look clean. So this is where that piece of cardstock or the corresponding cardstock is going to come in. I'm going to go ahead and do this to the front of our cover, and I'll be right back once we do that, and then we'll finish this up and then we'll go over to the glitter one. Okay, I'm back and they are all done. Well, they're not done, but this part of it is done. So they're going to go together like this. So what I have over here is some coordinating cardstock that I'm going to go ahead and apply some tape to. I'm going to put that on the inside. You see there's a little bit of a margin there. And tape that down to finish this off. So this was just 8.5 by 11 cardstock that I just cut in half. And again, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to apply the tape to each of these and go ahead and finish these off. Okay, so here is the glitter cardstock. Finished on the inside as well. I think I really like this one. The glitter is not in your face as much as the glitter sticker paper that I'm getting ready to show you. This is just pretty. And again, I think I need to mention that this was printed using my regular inkjet printer. So I didn't have to sublimate this or anything, so anyone can do this. You do not have to have a sublimation printer for this. So I'm going to put these off to the side. And now we're going to get started on the glitter paper, the sticker paper, which should be a little simpler since it already has the adhesive on it. So we'll get those front and back done, and then we'll come back and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to put all of these together to make a spiral notebook out of them. Okay, so here we are with the glitter printable sticker paper from Silhouette. And again, this is what I mean by, you know, it's really, really shiny glitter, really reflective. So that image is kind of getting washed out a little bit on here, and I don't know how much I care for that. So like as an example, here's what the image, the same exact image looks like, just printed from an inkjet printer. And here's what it looks like sublimated on glitter HTV, which kind of was done in a similar way as the cardstock was. So you can see where it is definitely, it's a bolder image than what's showing up here. So just keep that in mind when you're using this glitter. So I did go ahead and score the sides again. I realized now I don't need all 4, so I only scored 2 of the sides. So we're still gonna come in here, and before I peel the backing off, we're gonna go ahead and miter the corners just like we did with the other one. Again, close to the corner, but not quite clipping it, and then back out again. I'm going to do that for all 4 corners. Okay, perfect. Go ahead and toss those. So now we have this here. I'm going to turn this over, kind of face it towards me a little bit. Get all this other stuff out of the way. So now we're going to take the chipboard that's going to go in here, and we're going to go ahead and peel this sticker backing off, and then we're going to put it down. Okay, let's see how easy this is to peel. Maybe not at all. There we go. So we're going to take this off. And again, if you want to get better angles, you can definitely like leave half of the backing on, just like we do with like vinyl on a tumbler or something like that, and just kind of peel off as you need. I'm just going to go for it. Okay, stick that down. And these we can just kind of go ahead and fold over. Same as before, but this time we don't need the extra adhesive because this is already really, really sticky. I'm going ahead and varnish this all down so we have a good and there's the back. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same to the front, find a coordinating cardstock, and we'll be right back. Okay, so now we have our 2 completed covers for our journals or planners or notebooks, whatever, however you plan on doing it. Again, this is our cardstock. Here is our glitter sticker paper. I'm gonna get the stuff that we need to put this all together. Again, for now, I think I'm just gonna put blank papers inside of each because I haven't quite either designed or found the actual printables that I want inside. So I'm gonna go get some filler paper together and my punch, and we're gonna put this all together. Okay, so I have my spiral punch from We Are Memories Keepers. This fits 3 to 1 spirals. So I do kind of have some that I bought off of Amazon that I just kind of keep because, again, I don't make enough journals. I don't do this enough to buy like the cinch or something like that. I think they're kind of expensive for what they do unless you sell them on Etsy. Then that makes sense. Because I only do this every so often, I just have this one. Okay. So what I like to do is I go ahead and I bring this in here, but I line it up right to the edge of the punch. Can you see that? Right where that first hole is. Make sure it's all the way towards the back and punch. And there you have your first 2 holes. Now, this can be time consuming because it does punch 2 holes at a time, but you come on ahead, you bring it down, you line up the last 2 holes that you just did and make sure it's towards the back and punch it again. I'm going to go in ahead off camera and go down the line of the front and the back for this one. And I'm also going to do the glitter sticker paper as well. And this is just some 8.5 by 11 copy paper that I just cut in half. And I'm going to punch these too. So you can tell, again, if you're punching it 2 times at a time, this might take a while. But again, if you don't do this often, there's nothing wrong with this. But if you think you're going to sell these or anything like that, I would definitely suggest maybe investing in the cinch, or again, the new multi-punch that I think We Are Memory Keepers is coming out with. Okay, so now I have my punched holes, and I will say that this went through the chipboard easily, no problems. And I had definitely the thicker chipboard that I used, so it went through perfectly fine. Now I did struggle a little bit in terms of the filler paper, because you kind of want them to stay still while you're punching so that the papers don't move, basically. So it's definitely encouraged, if you have the patience, to do as, a few amount of papers at a time, because the more you have it, the harder they are to hold and keep still while you're trying to punch it. So for something like this, I guess a bigger binding system is ideal. But for what I'm trying to do now, this is fine. And again, I didn't do a whole lot because I just wanted just enough to put it together and show you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and sandwich these together. See if I can't get the holes lined up to make this as easy as possible. And I can already see they are not lining up. That filler paper does not want to let me be great. Okay. Well, here's what I'm gonna do, because I don't feel like fighting with that today. I'm just gonna go ahead and put these together here and just show you this way. So here I have spiral binding. This is 3-to-1 pitch, which is just basically shows, like, and how much space in between the holes. So like the cinch, I think, uses like a 2-to-1 pitch. This one, it says on the packaging that it's a 3-to-1 pitch. So when you ever are going to buy replacements and things like that, just make sure you're paying attention to the pitch of the item that you're buying, if you're not buying it directly from the manufacturers who made the item, because this is not from the We Are Memory Keepers. This is just an off-brand off of Amazon, but they do give you the pitch, so you do have to make sure you're paying attention to that when you are buying them. So again, this is for spiral. So I'm going to line these up, and I'm going to put that through the first hole, and then we're going to just start to kind of rotate this and beat it through. Now, again, problem with doing them 2 by 2 is that they don't necessarily all, exactly line up the way it would had you had a bigger punch that had like a stopping point where you can just butt it up against so that they're consistent. And I'm really hoping that once I do figure out what filler paper I want to use, I don't get so frustrated with punching it that I go out and buy a punching system just for it. But we'll never know, I guess, right? Okay, so once that's there, you would come in here with wire cutters, and I'm not going to cut this because this is not complete. So I don't want this to be my final item. So you would cut it here with some wire cutters, and then you can take the ends with, say, some jewelry pliers or something else, you know, stronger pliers, and kind of bend this over so that it can't come out anymore. And you would do the same with this end as well. And then there, when you actually have filler paper in it, you now have a spiral notebook. So whether you're using cardstock, glitter sticker paper, glitter HTV, or just regular copy paper and laminate, you can make any type of notebook that you want. No longer have to, you know, buy them off of Etsy if you really don't want to, unless they have this amazing design, which some of them do. You can go on ahead and just make one yourself. Design something, make it personal, make it yourself, because I do think that when they are pretty, we are more likely to use them, or at least that's just me. So I put my business on it, and to me that will help me come in and actually use it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do hope you try this. Definitely in the description box below, let me know how you guys would do it, because again, I am absolutely amazed at some of the creativity of the YouTube channel and family, and you guys just blow me away in terms of your creativity. So definitely let me know how you would have done this. I've used a lot of materials to do this, but again, this is what I do. This is what makes me happy. So again, hope you guys try out some of these items. Let me know if you want to see the glitter HTV version or even the laminate, as simple as that is. And I'll be more than glad to show you how I did these as well. Again, my name is Felicia. This is Fifi Creates. Have a great day, guys. Bye.